Welcome back, boxing fans. It's your boy Mike Santos on the mic, and you've tuned in to the Mike Santos Sports Podcast. Today in this video, we're going to talk about last Saturday's mega fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Tszyu. Now, I know this fight happened last Saturday, so I am a little late with it, but hey, I got a 9 to 5 and I got to pay my bills. So, this fight was a little bit sad to watch for me because Errol Spence Jr. is one of my favorite fighters, and to see him at this poor, sad state of affair, man, it was hard to watch. So that's why I took a little bit to talk about it. But hey, here we are, Errol Spence Jr. 36 years old, 3 years after he got an ass whooping from Terrence Crawford. And it took him 3 years to recover and get back in the ring. And instead of taking a 2-0 fight, he goes up in weight and he fights young and hungry Tszyu, the legend of Tszyu, or the son of the boxing legend Tszyu. And it didn't go how the doctor ordered for Errol Spence, who at 36 years old has taken too much punishment, and he's just not there anymore, man. The reflexes are gone. He didn't have power at this division. It was hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch. Sometimes these fighters just don't have it anymore, and this is what happened with Errol Spence Jr. When he was in his prime, he was one of the best fighters in the world, hands down. But at 36 years old, with all that wear and tear, I think it's the end for him. And he said after the fight, this is the end. So it is what it is. The lead right hands were the punch that was doing it for Tim. He couldn't miss that punch, man. I don't know, Errol Spence Jr., a combination of poor defense and just his reflexes they're just not there anymore. He's just done. If you hear him talk, his speech is slurred. So there's damage done there. I didn't want him to fight anymore. I think after the Terrence Crawford fight, he should have came back, probably with a two-minute fight or a farewell fight down in Texas, and with a tomato can, you know what I mean, and just call it a career. But instead, after 3 years of inactivity, he chooses to come back against a younger, stronger Tszyu, and it's just, I don't know who runs his career, but hey, at the end of the day, he makes the decision. He's the boss, but hopefully he had people in his corner telling him he shouldn't take this fight. But the fight happened, and it went how I thought it was gonna go, which is pretty much, in my view, was a one-sided beatdown. Errol Spence Jr. went to the body early on, but you could tell those punches didn't have anything. He was just fighting a bigger man. He's past his prime himself. Physically, he's done. This physical damage. Like I said, his speech is slurred, man. So I'm pretty sure there's some brain damage there too. So it's sad to see him. I mean, sometimes fighters stay in the ring too long, and I think Errol Spence was one of those fighters that stayed in the ring too long. But it is what it is, man. Good victory for Tszyu, who called Erislandy Law out after the fight. He feels happy at this weight division. Good win for him. He did what he was supposed to do. But it is what it is. You saw Terrence Bob Crawford. I was wondering if Terrence Bob Crawford was at that fight in Sydney, Australia, with some type of hope that Errol Spence Jr. will pull it off, and they can go ahead and get the rematch done. Because I didn't know Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford were best friends for him to travel all the way to Sydney, Australia, just to watch him fight. So I think there was probably some hope there that Errol Spence Jr. would have pulled through and they could make that rematch happen for big money. But Errol Spence Jr. got a beat down, and that's not going to happen. And Tszyu is I don't think that's such a big fight to bring Terrence Crawford out of retirement. But yeah, it is what it is, man. We had to cover this fight regardless of how we feel about it emotionally. Thank you, Errol Spence Jr. for all the great fights he gave us. And congratulations to Tszyu for the good victory. He rides on. He goes on to bigger and better things. And that's all I have for this video, man. Until next time, it's your boy Mike Santos on the mic for the Mike Santos Sports Podcast. Peace.